Hi, I'm making another video of these fish because I'm noticing a change in them. They hatched around the first part of October 2017 and we got them as eggs, and it is now March 30th, so about 6 months old. We've kept them over this year. We just kind of like them, and we wanted to see how big they could get. So I noticed an interesting thing. If you look on their sides, there's some lines that are parallel to one another. They're called Parr marks, and it's a way that the fish can stay hidden if they're in the grass, like in the water. It's a little form of camouflage. Well, I'm noticing some of them on the bigger fish are starting to fade. If you kind of look at some of the smaller ones, see that one's real distinct. They're all the same age, but they're starting to fade on some of the larger fish. But here's an even cooler thing I noticed. Some of the large ones are getting to be about 3 inches, maybe even larger. But the cooler thing I'm noticing is on the sides. These are rainbow trout. And on the sides, there's a little line called a lateral line, and it goes down the side of the fish. So maybe you can see it along those Parr marks. It kind of crosses between them. And what it is, it's looks like a little seam, but it is a tube that has a special kind of oil in it, and the oil has cells in it, and it can detect slight currents in the water, and that way, even if a fish is blind, it is able to still hunt. It can detect movement and still hunt. I think that's so cool. They're all facing to the left. If you'll notice, the way this tank is set up, that thing that's in the middle looks kind of green. I guess it is getting kind of green. Is an intake for a chiller, and it goes up, and it goes into the chiller, and then it comes back over here. The water comes back in on that kind of, I guess it's so hard to see, that kind of little dark area. I kind of guess it's getting foggy in there, but the water shoots across and it hits this wall and kind of boomerangs. This long tube here is an intake for the filter. And so they all kind of, in the wild, they'll face upstream, waiting for food to come toward them. Down in the bottom, we have our famous bob. He's not the biggest fish. You see all those huge fish right there? That's not even the hugest one. But Bob is right here facing us, down underneath there. Kind of under that root. Not the one closest, but the one kind of in the middle. He's not the biggest fish anymore, but he's got the prime spot in the tank because he quickly became the biggest fish. All these other fish think he's larger than them. It's kind of like a little puppy does if it has a bigger adult chihuahua nearby, and then when the puppy grows in to be a lab or something, it still thinks the chihuahua is biggest. I think that's the same kind of phenomenon. Anyway, Bob has 2 or 3 little lackeys that hang out there with him, but he chases everybody else away, and I think they help chase him away. It's kind of like, I guess, pilot fish and sharks or something. But he's now, all the other fish are too big to be eaten by him. He could only eat the real small ones. And I just think it's pretty cool. And I don't know if you ever did see, but this one's got a real good eye. Of course, it doesn't stay here. And of course, there's so many reflections. I'm looking at my elbow. But I don't know if you can detect that real slight pink that's kind of a russet more, I guess. It's starting to appear right there on that guy. See? That's so cool. They're starting to look like themselves as adults. Little rainbow trout. Well, that's another episode of me talking all twangy and disconcerted. Have a good day.